Welcome to Poppy's blog. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Sunday. Today I'll be reading a story I wrote Saturday, Country Time. After working in Monterey County, I decided to move to the country. I'd always liked Paso Robles because of the friendly people, the country roads, and the hometown feeling. I eventually moved there. I found my home with an agent in Tascadero. The moment we drove up to the gate, my belly said, "This is your home." The agent said, "The owners are home. Would you like to meet them?" I said, "Yes." Mr. Wilson was a nice man. He explained to me why he had the house facing north versus south, how many nails were in the roof, why he cross-fenced the way he did, and the place was set up for a pig farm with small pens. I fell in love with the bright sunny kitchen, with its natural sunlight and the smell of jasmine coming in from the windows. The day I moved in, my agent was out of town, so I found my keys under a rock near the gate. There was so much to do. I unpacked slowly and watched Leo and Zachary running around in the field, chasing the birds and looking for ground squirrels. They would jump into the water trough to cool down, then it was nap time in the sun. They were having fun. I loved to watch the sunset from my porch. At night, the sky was so clear you could count the stars. I worked in the garden, planting and tending to many rose bushes, grapevines, and the fruit orchard. I drove to the small auction in Templeton and purchased a few chickens since I had small pens already set up. I bought a Hampshire pig and had it delivered. And my neighbors were great. I bartered with them during spring with eggs for my chickens and grapes for my vines. I received tomatoes, zucchini, and eggplant. We visited each other and had coffee and cake, and great conversations, of course. Every day, I woke up and walked down the hill and fed my chickens and let them out to stretch their legs. I would then open my main gate and take a walk to the end of the road with Leo and Zach. It was peaceful. One weekend, my daughter came to visit. I was working out near the road, trenching a line to drop the irrigation line down to the hill for my lavender plants. I started to dig my holes and plant the lavender when I heard a honk. It was my daughter at the main gate. As I turned around, Petunia had uprooted 2 of my lavender plants and was throwing them in the air. I looked at my daughter, and as she laughed, I ran up to the house and grabbed a basket of grapes. I walked over to Petunia and said, "Bad girl, follow me," as I dropped the grapes down one at a time. She followed me into the pen where I left the gate open. I filled her mud bath with water, and she jumped in while she ate the grapes. I ran to the gate, and my daughter was laughing. She said, "Mom, a corporate woman turned country." My daughter only remembers me in large firms and wearing suits all the time. I smiled and said, "That was years ago." Zachary had to give her one of his high fives before she entered the house. I dressed, took her into town, where we had lunch at McClintock's and walked around the park. She also met my neighbors, and she said, "Mom, you look incredibly happy." I said, "Yes, I am very happy," and we hugged. When she left that day, I sat and smiled because she turned out to be just like me, such a beautiful, intelligent young lady. When I look back over my life, I realized that I did a fantastic job in raising my daughter. I applaud myself as a professional single mom and loving mother. I made sure she had good education, and my mom, my grandma, made sure she was a child. Being in the corporate world as a woman was no joke in my days. My daughter was and is the world to me. Let me end with this quote. "The greatest gift I gave to my daughter was my time, my love, and mostly my attention. We can only love others as much as we love ourselves." Come follow Poppy the Author, Country Girl at Heart, on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.